As a policeman, he's used to waiting.
He's used to pacing up and down.
Exactly. Now Scabartis. Pretty consistently good lifter. Just generally misses out on the major honours. Having said that, he was bronze medalist last year in the World Championships. 10th in the last Olympic Games. And again, plenty of years on his side, only 24.
Yes, and quite a light body weight, only weighing in at 126 kilos, so he could get bigger.
Good lift. I mentioned a bit earlier the Steen Grimseth Cup in Fjorde, which was done on a sort of interesting high jump formula, where you lifted at a height or a weight like a high jump, and then you went on and you went on and you went on until the last man stayed in the competition. And anyway, Scabartis was the winner of that. Totaled out 422.5. Not a bad total. Not a bad total.
In the clean and jerk.
But here's the Latvian going for 190. Well, in Thailand, if you can remember that competition, I mean, he was not unhappy to let Weller take the snatch there and came back with the clean and jerk to eventually, you know, take the overall. It always is a great psychological battle, but the reason, we haven't actually explained why Ronnie Velo isn't here. Nothing wrong with him, he's fit, but what he's actually explained is that what it takes now at his age to do a good competition, you can only do that once a season.
Yes, the coaches have decided to give this championship a miss, perhaps similar to what the Greeks did. You know, because you can't keep lifting these heavy weights all the time. You've just got to pick your competitions.
You've got to preserve yourself for those moments that matter, which means that, you know, we might not see him in the Europeans in Spain because he might feel that he's got to save himself for Athens and next year's World Championships, which is the qualifying competition. Well, since Cheberkin has really got to go for that, I mean, I think that's probably where the next clash will come. I mean, he could leave it well. Well, Scabartis.
I mean, so Scabartis is...
He's lighter.
Yes, by...
fraction, to 126.
1 kilo.
Yeah, 126.28 versus 127.55. So this would put Scabartis into the lead. For how long, we know not, but first he's got to lift it.
Yes, he's asking a lot of himself here.
Полная стопа. Мощно.
Come on.
Well, he asked a lot.
That is brilliantly controlled. He almost went, realised it was wrong, held it, and then did it again. That takes real strength and self-control to do what he just did. That is a mature athlete.
So he's finished, and the bar now has to go to 197.5.
Look at this at the low position.
Yeah, really waits, doesn't panic.
Almost goes, and then goes. Very appropriately named. Now Scabartis, the snatch bronze medalist, 195, coming out for 227.5.
Yeah, snatched 190.
Вперед, подбив. Полная стопа.
In fact, snatched 195.
Yes, it's a bit disappointing in the Europeans this year. He was down in 5th place. He only totalled out at 420. Managed to snatch, I should say, clean and jerk 230. But he only snatched 190, so clearly he's in better shape at the moment.
Встали. Грудь спиночку держи. Ровно посыл. Плечо, сразу руки подставляем. Грудь держи. Тянись, тури.
So the first man to go over 500 pounds today, but the first of many.
Yeah, and he's over what he did last year when he took the bronze medal. I mean, then he only snatched 187.5, and he cleaned and jerked 225 for 412. So he's going much better. He's obviously got himself sorted out for this competition. I could see him getting a few more honours here.
They're wrapping tape around his thumbs to protect them. Because of course these barbells, these weights so heavy, if you weren't using the hook grip where you wrap the fingers over the thumb, it would be almost impossible to keep hold of the weight.
So Scabartis, this is an important lift because this will really establish him in both the clean and jerk medals and the overall. Because 235 would take him ahead of Pavel Najak, and it would give him an advantage because he'd have lifted it before the two Armenians, so he puts pressure on both of them. And he's still got one more effort after this, whatever.
He needs to stand.
Грудь поставь, грудь держи. С ножек хорошо. И сразу на прямые.
Well,
he's got one more chance at it.
Yeah, it's not strength. Bar was at arm's length, but he wasn't in a good position. Not in a good enough position to hold on to that huge weight of 235 kilos. That would have given him 430. Yes.
430, yeah.
Plenty of power there to stand up with that huge weight. Drives the bar to straight arms, but doesn't have the positioning to hold.
Andre Rode of Germany cannot finish worse than 5th in this, which will be quite some achievement. It's what happens, isn't it, when you play your own game and you just focus on that and you let everybody else worry about what they're doing. It won't really reflect strength, but it will reflect technique. So now, Scabartis, 430 kilos. He's got 422.5, but he really would like this.
Now, needs to get his positioning right this time.
Not to be. He's got enough for the... I would say he's got enough for the overall bronze medal, maybe. It's up to Vorodanyan. With the biggest men. And now Scabartis. Well, this is the man who won a good super heavyweight competition in Fjorday in the hometown of Sten Grimseth, who's in today's competition. It's a special super heavyweight event held every May up in Norway, and all the big boys go. And he was a bit of a surprise winner, but they all enjoyed the trip and they're all looking forward to going back next season. Well, no worries there.
Yes, you can, of course, email us live, and we'll try and answer your questions live on air. The email address is www.weightlifting.de.
Yeah, we've got one or two answers for you as well. As we see Scabartis of Latvia. Well, he came in at 195, so this is a more modest increase. He's taking it in gentle steps. Mind you, the look on those faces is more one of anxiety and worry than confidence.
Well, coaching's a very nerve-wracking, tiring job. You think the athletes have got it hard, try coaching.
Well, he was so close.
Yes, managed to pull the bar to locked arms, but wasn't quite in the right position underneath it.
200 is at the upper levels of his range, I have to say. But he should have actually got that. To think, David, not today, but the previous 3 days, we've had over 20,000 spectators in the hall over the 3 days. I think that's unprecedented in any World Weightlifting Championship, or indeed in any major championship, because even the Olympics, I don't think the auditoriums are that large to take that sort of crowd. Gives you an idea of the popularity of one man, but it also, to be fair, gives you an idea of the place of the sport in Greek sports. Up there with, certainly. Scabartis, just a little hesitation before he launched it over, or drove up, I should say, to be more accurately, but he's done it. He's not looked to me terribly convincing, but he makes now the 5th man on 200.
Yes, gets plenty of height on the bar, just stays down there, just to make sure his positioning's just right.
And 1998. Can anybody get there today? Maybe Tremerkin, who knows? Because I think Tremerkin will be quite relaxed now. He knows that Weller, one of his main rivals, is out the way, but he also looks like a man who's not going to underestimate anybody.
That's right, he's taking small jumps on the snatch, building.
And having had that one setback of not being able to lift 202.5, he knows that he's got to plan this out very carefully if he wants to retain his world title. Scabartis. Cleverly managed. And the bronze medal from this already. Bronze medal position seems to be one he occupies a lot of the time. Oh. Now, is that another tear and rip?
Well, I think he's okay. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened there. Well, he seemed to be in a good position. Let's have a look from the front. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but it's nice to see Weller coming out on 204.
Viktor Scabartis. Second go. Were he to get this, it would take him to 440, which would put him up into 2nd place overall. It's Jabba at the moment of Qatar, who leads with a total of 445. He's 10 ahead of Krasilnikov of the Ukraine. Grimseth still clinging on to 3rd place at the moment. That's better. And for 240 from there puts him on to 440, and he does go up into 2nd place. Krasilnikov drops to 2nd, to 3rd, and Grimseth to 4th. So Hussein Rezazda of Iran, 242.5. Scabartis for well, he's really into new territory here, David.
Yes, it's 12.5 kilos more than his best ever.
he's thought he was seeing stars there for a moment. When they go down at this level, there's a real thump on the platform. He's all right, thank goodness. But it does mean that Scabartis, last year's overall bronze medal, will not be in that position this year. So at the moment, still in the lead, it's Hossein Razazda of Iran, 4:47.5. He's 2.5 ahead of Jabba of Qatar, with Shamerkin, the defending world champion. You know, they've come back, Milan Dobrev winning, you know, the 105 championship for them. And they've got a development program. They've got young lifters, whereas we haven't seen that with the likes of the Greeks. We haven't seen that. You know, where's this next generation?
Well, that's right. I mean, I can remember about 15 years ago, the English team, or the British team, actually beating the Greek team at the EC Championships. And then, of course, they went and bought a load of athletes. And rather than, as you say, having a development program where they've got new athletes coming through, they're spending all their money trying to keep the ones that they've got in good health. But of course, in a couple of years' time, they'll be left without a team. So, 5th man in a row to snatch this 200.
He's got an incredible total posted, David, 467.5 kilos, which he apparently did in the national championships, which was a test event. So it doesn't count.
So the man who was very, very disappointed with his snatch phase, only managed to snatch 200 kilos, was registered with that huge total of 467.5, now comes out for his opening clean and jerk of 245 kilos, but this, of course, will only put him on 445, 22.5 kilos below his posted total, so not really having the best day.
Yeah, but he's, you know, Scabartis, you know, he's got a chance, you know, with Jabba having disappeared, it puts him back with the chance of an overall medal and, of course, a clean and jerk medal.
Well, it puts him back in, but from a personal sort of goals viewpoint, he's not really having the best day.
No, but if he goes home with an overall medal in his pocket, that'll be soon forgotten. Good clean, no problem with that at all. Oh, now.
Well, that's fine. He's got a total on the board, but he's struggling.
Gets 3 white lights, 245, running total of 445, so he's 2.5 kilos behind Cholikov, and he's 5 kilos down on Udashin.
Second place, so maybe that'll put a smile on his face.
Yeah, they're taking to 457.5, which would...
Well, no, 452 because remember he had that disappointing snatch of 200.
Yeah.
So this really is going for second place, and I would suspect that whether he succeeds with this or fails with this, that Razazadeh will be attempting a new world record.
Yeah, absolutely right. 452.5
kilos. So this for a silver medal. Well, he's really having to work out of that squat position now. Has he got enough left for the jerk? Well, the answer's no.
Close to the windpipe.
Yes, just blacking out there, something that happens quite often.
So Razazadeh is the champion. He doesn't have to, well, actually, to be honest, David, he doesn't actually have to come out, but I think he might.
Doesn't have to, but he had a go at the world record in the snatch. There's no reason why he shouldn't have a go at the world record in the clean and jerk. The pressure's off. The world title is his.
Yeah, Udashin in second place, and the young Bulgarian, Cholikov, well, as they say, David, you can only take on the people who turn up. Absolutely, I think, get to 205. Now, Scabartis, real character. Viktor Scabartis, the Olympic silver medalist, the world bronze medalist in 2003. And this his beginning. Again, he's a pretty consistent 200 man, 205. Representing Latvia, 31 years of age. Just under 140 kilos his weigh-in a couple of hours ago. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, pretty solid start.
A good day for SCERBATIHS. 196 kilos on the bar.
There's quite a lot of enthusiasm for strongman competitions and strong men altogether around the Baltic states, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia. Interestingly, a little message in from Mantas in Lithuania. I think he was as today. Now Viktor also going for 201. Now Viktor weighed in at 139.55, which means he's heavier than Jabba, so he would go into third place.
Second place.
Going to second place, yes, because
Rozazadeh's heavier.
Heavier, yeah. Sorry. And again, an improvement.
Yes, he's got the confidence and the experience to just stay in that low position for as long as he needs.
Well, this is, you know, fingers crossed, this is beginning to unfold, David, as we would hope, which is, you know, good lifting. They're all lifting at the moment well within themselves. It just depends on who's going to make the first, you know, breakaway move. He does move the bar with speed.
Well, this is what I was saying when you were talking. You know, we were talking about who is the strongest athlete. Weightlifting is a power event. I mean, obviously you need to be immensely strong to stand up with these huge weights, but you need those fast twitch fibers as well.
So to go into the lead on his last attempt, Viktor Scabartis of Latvia. Very important, because whatever happens, this will keep him in touch with the overall fight. So,
and put some pressure back on Rozazadeh as well.
Absolutely. So, for Latvia, come on, Viktor. That's a pity. That is a real pity, because he drops down on 201, and that leaves him down there with Jabba. Okay, so he's 4 kilos down now on Rozazadeh. 2 men left with lifts.
Yes, the fight now is between Rozazadeh and
the second heaviest.
Yes,
and the second lightest.
Second lightest.
Yeah.
But Rozazadeh only has 1 lift.
Scabartis has got 242.5 in Europe. You would think, possibly, after having watched him in the snatch, that he would, you know, might be capable of adding another 5 kilos to 247, 248. But
I think he's probably capable of about 245.
Yeah.
Which means that Rozazadeh would have to do 247.
Yeah.
Because it's a kilo down and body weight. And I think that's the game Shigashev's going to have to play, because I think Rozazadeh will wait.
Well, this is a man who's also dangerous to Shigashev in terms of overall placing, because Scabartis in the clean and jerk, opening up here, and this is a 250, a proven 250 man.
But not looking quite so good today.
Yeah. Do you know that moment when you just regret saying what you just said?
But he's still a proven 250 man.
But that was poor.
Yeah. But it's so much about. I mean, that's one of the things though that makes sport, any sport, exciting. You know, if everybody just did what was written down on the piece of paper.
Prove at 19. Now Viktor.
Gone up a kilo. So they're falling away a bit in the clean and jerk.
I remember Nidek is sitting there.
Yeah, sitting there waiting and seeing what he needs for the.
Scabartis Scabartis and Jabber are the two men he's got to keep an eye on. He's got to hope that both falter. One faltering doesn't help him. Both have got to falter.
Well, of course, Shigishev's still got a couple of attempts as well. So Scabartis needs this for a total.
Oh, well, that was totally different. Exhale and push.
Well, he's got a problem as well. So a couple of injuries.
So that gives him 444, all the fours.
That's the trouble as well. When the weights are this big, you just do one thing wrong technically, you lose your focus for a second, and it's so easy to pull something, or tear a muscle, or pull a ligament.
You have a superstar, just how it can pull the crowd in. Now Scabartis, last throw of his dice. Bar on 250. So this is for 451. Whatever happens, that 206 of Shigishev has surely secured him the overall silver medal. I can't see Jabber doing anything about that.
So this man fighting back.
No, it's not to be.
No lift.
So leaves him on 444. That bronze medal has really gone. It's gone Jabber's way. He's got a 201 and he's got a 245, so he's got 440, got 446. So Scabartis' opportunity is lost. And the third one is where you really push yourself and hope that you can, go for the big mark. Now, come on, Victor. Let's have some respectability into this competition. Viktor Scabartis, Latvia, 32 years of age, big boy, Olympic silver medalist, only beaten by Rozazadeh in Athens, 6th in Sydney. Consistently around the sort of 445, 450 mark. Capable, but can he master the conditions? Can he put that all out of his mind and focus and put his strength into this? Thank you very much.
Yes, so 191, and Scabartis now takes the lead.
Good lift. Thank goodness. But nicely done, David. We got him and Dong, who, from China, who had the 185. Very good first attempt. So those are the two men at the moment who've shown us a modicum of form. Advantage over these guys, over his nearest pursuers. So Victor. Been third in the world, 97, 98, 2003, European champion, 2001, 2005, and the reigning European champion, 198. Second attempt, 7 kilo increase. Needs this. Characteristic preparation.
that was experience.
Yeah, did well to hold that. He was actually going to lose it behind. Went back down into the squat, waited, and then stood. Yes, it could have gone then while he was in that squat position had he not done that.
We go another 4. Come to London in 2012.
Possibly.
You know this challenge of getting 4 consecutive Olympic gold medals. Suleimanoglu trying, and everybody. Could this be the guy? It's awful difficult, and you know, a full Olympic cycle is really tough. But well, we're going to see him later. But Scabartis on 200 first. So this would be some 10 kilos down on his lifetime best. But having said that, this would be exactly on his European mark from May in Poland. Easter time in Poland, this is what he lifted on his way to a European total of 445, which was good enough to earn him the European gold for a 3rd time.
Not today.
No. He couldn't correct that. So it leaves him on 198. So he's behind Udashin by a kilo. But of course Razazadeh with 2 to come. Crack at this, which is good. So here comes Viktor.
I think the Bulgarian has pulled out. He was originally down at 225. I just think he's just calling it a day.
So
it's been a disaster for them.
Yeah, it's been awful. So this will be 234. Am I right?
No,
434.
Yeah.
434 total. So he'd be still a couple of kilos. Well, he'd be a couple of kilos down on Udashin.
Oh no, I would say that was a press out. I think he knows it as well. He's checking the lights. I think he fully expected that to be a no lift. Well, we can't see the lights for confirmation, but I'm pretty sure. No, press out. Very obvious, wasn't it?
So now he's under real pressure because he can't afford to give a
wasted an attempt to give a lighter weight.
Yeah.
He's reduced his options, hasn't he?
As the day wears on, it becomes even tougher. Lift earlier is the... I wonder whether that's also been a factor for some of the performances we've seen from the B group. Look at the time it's taken him to recover. You don't see this very often, David. You really don't. If you ask any of these guys or the girls, what do you remember from Santo Domingo? Plenty of them are going to say the humidity. So big lift now. Got to make this to leave himself with at least 1 card to play. So this again will be 434, 198 plus 236. And of course this will put him on exactly the same total as Udashin, but he'll be lighter, so he'll be in the gold medal position if he can pick it up. That was better.
Now punch it out hard, punch it out strong.
Yeah, that's okay. That's good.
But a disaster for him really, because he's limited his options now.
Well, he's got one card and he's got to decide how to play it really. You know, he's you know, on the face of it, you'd say, well, he's destined for bronze, possibly silver, but it really depends on Udasin. He's got to see what Udasin goes for. And yeah, that's a good point, David. That is actually a new junior world record on the clean and jerk, which stood to Udasin, stood for 6 years in Prague, was 240. So he's got the junior world record because he's only 20. I was looking at personal bests and totals and forgetting the fact that he actually was attacking the junior world record. Scabartis. No.
So out of the medals.
No. Left on 4:34. So the European champion, the long trip to Santo Domingo, I'm afraid, in terms of medals, has not paid off. But I wouldn't write him off quite yet. 195. So Viktor Scabartis, well, multi-successful in the European arena, the reigning European champion, snatched 202 kilos in Strasbourg, European champion in 2007, 2006, 2005, 2001, and Olympic silver medalist in Athens in 2004, behind Hossein Razazadeh, who snatched 213 kilos. By contrast, Scabartis 205. But this third attempt, 202 kilos to take the snatch gold medal. So Scabartis, a kilo ahead, but not body weight. So this 240 would reinstate his 1 kilo advantage over Shigishev at the halfway stage. Sholikov dropping out of contention. Still though, Jabba Saeed Salem in contention, certainly for clean and jerk honours. Very good. And that's 240, so back he goes into the lead, but only by a kilo. So head to head with Yevgeny Shigishev, 4:22 to 4:21. So 442 to 440. Likewise, Ewan's got one, and Scabartis has put the bar up to 247. So now the chips are down. So the situation at the moment, Scabartis with 442, Shigishev with 441, both men with 2 attempts. Salem, Jabba, 435 in the bronze medal position at the moment, and the only other man who's got a lift is actually the Korean Sang-Hwen Hyun, who's just all out for clean and jerk honours, but I wouldn't be too optimistic about his chances. Now Scabartis, again, not the best of cleans there. 2 kilos up on what he lifted in Europe in Strasbourg, and not there. Now Scabartis, who got the worst of the argument in Strasbourg,
опытнейший латвийский штангист Виктор Scabartis. Много-много лет уже выступает в этой весовой категории. И на самом деле, я думаю, что он самый успешный атлет из всех выступающих сейчас в этой весовой категории. Он даже был на чемпионате, на Олимпийских играх в Атланте. У него был 10-й результат, тогда, когда выигрывал Андрей Чмеркин. В Сиднее Scabartis был 6-м. В Афинах 4-м, ну и в Пекине 3-м. Так вот, видите, потихоньку он подбирался к олимпийским медалям. По дороге выигрывая чемпионаты мира в Чангмэе, чемпионат Европы в Страсбурге, в Индиана. Сегодня, видите, 195 килограммов Виктор Scabartis фиксирует первым подходом. Четырехкратный чемпион Европы Виктор Scabartis всего за свою карьеру. Ну и, конечно же, главная его медаль — это серебряная медаль Олимпийских игр 2004 года. И бронза в Пекине. Отдыхать 2 года, не выступать после игр доброй воли 98 года. Только, наверное, не 98-го, а 2001-го, правильно. Которые в Австралии проходили. Итак, Виктор Scabartis, вторая попытка, 200 килограммов. Опа, и ошибка на 200. В последнее время в средствах массовой информации в Латвии активно обсуждается создание второй федерации тяжелой атлетики в Латвии. Ну и там существуют свои скандалы. Я разговаривал с тренером Виктором Scabartis. Он говорит, что в принципе это не так влияет на общий процесс. Удачи на Виктор Scabartis, которому одному 35, второму 29. Попробуют свои силы все-таки на 200 килограммов.
Pilnu pēdējā. Ножками окаем.
206 в рывке было у Scabartis на Олимпиаде. 206. Сегодня, видите, он 195 килограммов только имеет результат. У Артема Удачина на Олимпиаде было 207. На том памятном чемпионате мира в Ванкувере в 2003 году 210 килограммов в рывке было у Артема Удачина. Но вот после допинга